This is all coming from an ex-Dream SMP fan, more specifically an ex-Tommyinnit fan. I was obsessed with him in 2020 up until 2022 about, and then I stopped watching him. I had other things to worry about. I had university to worry about. I had life to worry about. One of the main reasons I kind of want to go back and examine Tommyinnit is because of a video he released entitled Tom Simon's The Internet's Getting Worse, and it's a music video. Previously, I hadn't really watched him. I'd watch him very sporadically if he posted anything relating to Dream or the Dream SMP, just because I was always interested in the drama that happened between the two. As an ex-Dream SMP fan is, and I think always will be, there will always be an audience for old Dream SMP drama or looking back on the Dream SMP, because it was such a nostalgic time for a lot of people. Tom Simon's released The Internet's Getting Worse November 22nd in 2024, and it caught my attention immediately because this was his first music video per se, and the title really grabbed me because of all the things that were happening in that video around the time of that video's release, really, with all of Logan Paul, with the KSI and Mr. Beast and Logan Paul drama. The controversy was on big YouTubers, big specific names. So to have another big YouTuber name that was a part of that whole scene of creators, of gaming creators specifically for teenagers and kids, to then come out and speak about it or kind of touch on these subjects was really like nice, because it felt like someone cared. And then I watched the video and I was severely disappointed because it felt like Tommyinnit was calling out himself. He was calling out his other persona that focuses on Minecraft YouTube videos, that focuses on gaming videos, that tried to get away from it, but has been reeled back into it. But these two personas, it felt like the song was making fun of his YouTube persona, which is still active. And it's absolutely insane to create a song basically about yourself, and to be that hypocritical feels a little odd. I just want to dive into some of these lyrics. There's a couple of things I want to talk about with the song. The lyrics, the subsection, the sub-lyrics, which is like the little flashes on the screen. And I kind of want to get into what it all means for Tommyinnit, the YouTube persona. This is about the YouTube persona, not the person. I just want to read some of these lyrics to you. In the first verse, it goes, "Is it just me? Am I going crazy? Left-wing sexist, hiding their secrets. You don't even really like this. Everyone sells everything. Nothing means anything. This is all hollow, shallow, saddening. Why is the R slur back? You know you, ugh." Those are the genius lyrics. The line that stands out to me the most in the first verse is, "Everyone sells everything. Nothing means anything." Obviously trying to refer to the Logan Paul, KSI, Mr. Beast Lunchables, where it feels like obviously a money grab. The entire thing felt like a money grab, and that's exactly what it is. But it's kind of all YouTube merch is, a money grab. Everyone sells everything. Nothing means anything. Sorry, didn't you sell merch, Tommyinnit? You sold a lot of merch, actually, and you made a lot of money from it too. I'm not trying to insinuate that Tommyinnit is and YouTubers are the reason for the climate crisis and fast fashion leaving the world in absolute ruins and filling our landfills, but it is kind of an issue because of how trend cycles works and how fast fashion works. A lot of the trend cycles kind of follow YouTubers, follow the internet trends, and if you are the internet trend at the moment, you want to create merch, you want to capitalize on that moment, you become a trend, you become a fast fashion. Part of the reason a lot of the things end up in landfill is because they're not trendy anymore, and YouTubers fall out of trend, fall out of favor. So when you are not trendy anymore, your merch goes to the landfill, goes to Goodwill, which eventually ends up in the landfill. He's also sold multiple YouTubes and has had a lot of collaborations with people. He's been selling 2 books now. He's gone on tour a couple times. There's a lot of things to buy from Tommyinnit, the creator. And when you then make fun of someone for selling something, yet you have also useless things that sit in people's drawers that people throw into landfills, it feels a bit odd. You can't make fun of someone for that when you are also doing the same thing. It's the whole reason I think it was Jacksepticeye who got shit on because he was saying, oh my gosh, YouTubers are just like selling things to sell things and they don't even do it for anything anymore. When you're doing the exact same thing. Like, that's all YouTubers now. Anyways, back to the song. Then it goes into the chorus. The internet's getting worse. I used to find comfort. The internet's getting worse multiple times. Just because you got bullied didn't mean you take it out on all of us. Verse 2. So I was walking down the street and I thought to myself, oh man, this internet ain't so well. You got leechers and creepers all over the street. Oh hell, this thing got too deep. I don't know why. It was so right. I don't know if I should be living my life like this. This is clearly, like, bad. The first lyrical genius there. Man, this internet ain't so well. You got leechers and creepers all over the street. Oh hell, this thing has got too deep. No one on the internet likes deep things. Now it's all getting worse. I used to find comfort. Now it's all getting worse. The internet's getting worse. The internet's getting worse. You used to find comfort in it because you were a kid. I found comfort in the internet. I found comfort in YouTubers because I was young too. In the bridge goes, I just hope I wasn't made for this. I don't think I can handle this. I don't want to do this. I feel like a lot of the times YouTubers get to these peaks and then they get to these troughs, the wave that is the internet and the trend cycle, and they fall and they rise and they fall and they rise, and that's gotta be hard. But then I remember how much money they made from it and I don't feel that bad. The outro goes, I swear it used to be good. I swear it used to be good. I swear it used to be good. Oh wait, was it ever good? Is anything ever good? Is it all just cringe looking back? You can't just think everything is cringe because then you are cringe. And what is cringe anyways? Am I cringe? I don't know. A lot of the song is trying to be self-aware, but it feels like he's being self-aware of himself, but it feels like he's trying to insinuate that it's not him. He's not a part of this issue, but in fact he is. A lot of the song is sub-lyrics. You can find the meaning in the sub-lyrics of the song. I find the most self-deprecating, maybe, of the entire song. If you find a corner of this world wide web that has any substance at all, stick to it and spend it watching soulless content designed to hold their attention. It's depressing. Basically, what he's trying to say is that there is soulless content out there that's just trying to hold your attention. It's an attention grab on the internet. That is the entire internet, is to hold someone's attention for 15 minutes of fame. There's a lot of soulless content on the internet. There's a lot of videos that are meant for kids who just, it feels like they're just draining our attention spans. And it's also on for teenagers and adults too. There's so many videos out there where it's just from one thing to the next, and it has the double screen, and there's this weird video going on over here, but pay attention to me, jingle jingle, and it's from a bot account. That's soulless content. And there's also soulless content in gaming videos because it's so repeated. It is so, you've done probably about 3 natural disaster mod videos. How many more can you milk out of that? Another sub-lyric to the song. Status is irrational and nature is cyclical. It's attention porn. Don't get addicted to it. It's nothing. It means nothing. I feel like this lyric is not lyric, but you know, sub-lyric. I'm calling them sub-lyrics. Is probably the weirdest coming from Tommyinnit. Someone who has felt these extreme highs of breaking Guinness World Records, and yet now he's barely breaking his own records. Barely. 13 days ago he posted a video and it's at almost 500,000 views, which is a lot. Don't get me, these are a lot of views. He's still getting a lot of views just not as much as he used to. And that has to drain you. That has to drain you as a content creator when you knew you could be so good at the top, and you've slowly fallen, and you've hit good peaks, and one video and the next might get 1 million views, and the next 2 million, and then the next one 50,000, maybe the next one 500. So it's just the cycle of the internet. And it's crazy to me that this is a revelation for a YouTuber that's been doing this for years now, since he was 16. I figured out trend cycles, I feel like, a long time ago, and that's just part of the way of rolling with the punches. That's part of the internet. It's attention porn. Don't get addicted to it. It's nothing. It means nothing. It seems like someone in the room has gotten addicted to attention porn, and I think Bo Burnham has a really good song about it. Don't know, maybe you should check it out. Most of my self-esteem and worth and love came from you. A year ago, I wasn't happy unless you were. I don't think I can ever do that again. Tommyinnit is obviously trying to get away from that persona of trying to rely on the internet for his attention, trying to rely on his self-esteem and putting his kind of faith in himself in the numbers game, in the analytics. I think some of the lyrics in this song too are very telling of what Tommyinnit has gone through as a creator over the years, from being a child who was kind of manipulated by the adults in the room, manipulated by the people around him, or not cared about by the people around him. There were so many adults around him who should have recognized what was going on, and yet no one said anything. And I'm kind of wondering if that's a cycle with them, especially with the whole Wilbur situation that came out, and later with other YouTubers. It seems like there was a culture going around the Dream SMP fandom of not saying anything because people were too big. They were too big to come out against, and they were too big to be believed, especially with the whole Katie Bugs thing. People didn't believe that your YouTuber was a misogynist. You don't know who these people are behind the camera. You don't know me behind the camera. I am just simply talking my opinions to a video camera and hoping that people will listen. And that's all YouTube is. Just hoping that people will listen. I think a lot of the Dream SMP, the reason a lot of people were so into it was relatable. During a time when you were cooped up playing video games with your friends, you could watch other people play video games with their friends and have the time of their lives too, and get views from it. There was that relatability aspect to it, and a lot of YouTubers get famous because they're so relatable. Think of Tommyinnit, think of Emma Chamberlain, who got so famous because she was so relatable, and then it kind of slipped. There's a point where you become famous, where you get this money, you get all the cool things that you want, you get to do the videos that you want, people still like you because you're that same persona, but then it's almost like a switch flips, and all of a sudden you are now in the big leagues, and you mentally become a part of the big leagues. You think that you have it, I guess, that quality that makes you better and have that fame to you in your persona, but the reason you gained that fame in the first place was because you're relatable, and now that you're famous, you lose that relatability because you become that kind of celebrity internet status. I feel like a lot of YouTubers kind of fall into this trap, and just because it gets us watching in the first place, and I feel like a lot of them forget why that gets them watching in the first place, especially with Tommyinnit, who has kind of came from that place of just streaming as a kid, and now he's 20 and realizing that he reached a point where he was past relatability. I think another thing about this video that kind of made me get an ick from it, I guess, was it felt very Bo Burnham-esque, and he even says that this is a Bo Burnham inspired kind of video and song. But the thing with Bo Burnham, and the reason some of his songs hit, was because he didn't have another persona of still doing the things that he was calling out. You know, a persona of hating on YouTubers and comedians, and then go and do the exact same thing that he was just hating on. He was very highly aware of himself and very like meticulous about what he was doing, and yet you can't call out YouTubers for being addicted to this cycle, and then yet you're also addicted to the cycle. It just feels very hypocritical. Don't get me wrong, this is all morally gray, and I kind of want to go into something else that really got my attention after he posted that video, was the whole drama with Dream again. People were calling people cringe, XQC and Miss Kiv, and Tommyinnit was calling Miss Kiv cringe, and then XQC called Tommy cringe, and blah 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 blah. But then Dream randomly came in with the arslur and called Tommyinnit fans arslers, which is absolutely insane. And is once again Dream kind of inserting himself into something that he does not need to be in. He's just trying to get those that sweet ex-Dream SMP views again, because a lot of the time whenever they feel like views are failing, I feel like there's old ex-Dream SMP drama that gets brought up again. Think of Shut Up, I'm Talking, when, you know, not many people were watching them, and then all of a sudden Phil comes on and talks about his feelings on Dream and stuff and what kind of went on behind the scenes. Things get brought up again. Old drama getting brought up again brings those sweet Dream SMP numbers again, those sweet 2020 COVID era numbers again. The thing that's the craziest to me is not the fact that, well, it is actually, it's so insane that Dream is just insane. He's an insane person and I do not support him. He's absolutely insane. The fact that there was so much back and forth between Tubbo, Tommy, and Dream and any other creators that were involved with the Dream SMP, it felt like 2022 again, and it was weird, I feel like, because it was a lot of ex-Dream SMP fans coming in and being like, what is happening? What is going on? This is the weirdest thing that has happened in 2025 of all years to bring back ex-Dream SMP drama. And honestly, he made a video entitled Dream that was 5 minutes long. Tommyinnit did. Let me be honest, Dream is a bad person. Dream's not the most mature person. He's crazy, and I've seen it firsthand, honestly, but that's a whole nother story. But Tommyinnit posted on January 12th, 2025, of basically confronting Dream, calling him immature, calling him all these things, and which frankly needed to be said online. But he posted it on his main, and at the very end of the video, he links to his tour. He links to his book in the description. He also links to his podcast with Jack, with the Shut Up, I'm Talking. It feels like I'm going crazy. It feels like they're bringing up old drama to bring up old drama to get those views again, to get people to sell something to someone. You know, like it feels like everyone sells everything and nothing means anything, is what it feels like. You know that you're getting views from this old drama, so of course you're going to drop this in if you know that you need to promote something. But another thing that's crazy to me is he drops merch. He drops merch when he knows he has people's attention. That's the thing. You can't have this duality of being a YouTuber and playing with the algorithm, knowing when to capitalize off it, and you stir up old drama. You're obviously playing into it. If you really wanted to be the mature person, you could have just like let the man rage in the corner and completely forgotten about him, but instead you play into it because you know that you're about to drop something. You know that you need to sell more tickets to something. You know that you need to get more pre-orders for your book. So you play into these old ex-Dream SMP fans what they want to see. They want to see this drama. I mean, I hell, I wanted to see it happen. It was like this old wound scab that is just like picked at constantly, you know? And there's a scar there, but there's still somehow a scab that you can pick at and it bleeds again because, oh my goodness, that's what people want to see. They want to see this old drama be brought up again. But it just feels like it's not genuine drama, how you're reacting to it, if you're selling something with it. It feels fake and it feels like a ploy. Like, oh my god, get people to buy tickets to your tour. And that feels a bit crazy to me. But I want to say I'm no way supporting Dream, but I'm also not really supporting this persona that Tommyinnit has created for his YouTube channel. I feel like it was very good distinguishing between Tom Simons, the person, and Tommyinnit, the creator. But now, as he's growing, it is meshing, and they're obviously polar opposites that are going head to head and facing each other in kind of a weird, hypocritical way. I think what really nails it in the coffin that he was trying to sell something was like a couple weeks later coming out with his internet report talking about it, but only for like a small segment, but having that as like the thumbnail. What is happening? This is 2025. 2025. And you're still doing this. I mean, if he really wanted to be the bigger person, he would have just left it. His Dream video, the one saying to Dream to his face, got 4 million views. And it feels just less genuine when you're just doing it to grab attention to sell something at the end of it. And I think that's what has made the internet worse, is that there's always a product to go around along with something. There's always merch you can buy. There's always a trend to buy into. And it's not relatable. It's not relatable. It's not the person who I originally subscribed to, of just a guy playing Minecraft with his friends and streaming it and making compilations of it. But I'm not trying to say that he's a bad person. He's had his like worst of times, his best of times online, and that takes a special person to do, a special vulnerable person to do, to put yourself out there. I mean, his video entitled Not Doing Well was really a good look at kind of his take on the whole Dream drama, and I think it was such a good video because it shows that he has a direction in life, but he's just put astray, I guess, by this need to come back to that persona, that Tommyinnit persona, not the Tom Simons persona, but the Tommyinnit persona of the rash, loud kid in front of a Twitch camera. But it's a bit disheartening to see, because you think that there's a YouTuber who cares, someone who you've seen grow, and you finally see him grow into something who you think cares, and then the next video is smash or pass all YouTubers. So, Tommyinnit is a very successful and growing person, and it's hard to put that growth online and to be vulnerable, and he's gone through so much with so much past Dream SMP drama, with Connor Eats Pants, with Wilbur Soot, with Dream, and that whole friend group that has been broken and recreated, and he's done well. I mean, the fact that he hasn't quit, that he's kept going, says a lot about him. And I don't think it's all dreary for him. The internet is getting worse, but sometimes you have to take a step back and see if you're the issue with it getting worse. You have to be aware of yourself. And if you're going to be aware of yourself, I feel like there has to be some change on some level. But what am I saying? He has 15 million subscribers, so he's going to be fine in life. And he has a lot of money. He made a lot of money from the Dream SMP. He made a lot of money from Twitch streaming. He's still making a lot of money. Who's worse off in this situation, in this scenario, talking about a YouTuber who's never going to see this video? This video is going to get 10 views. This has been girl talking to camera about her opinions, and I've kind of went on a lot of tangents, but this is just kind of how I think about the whole YouTube internet space at the moment, and I feel like it is perfectly encapsulated within Tommyinnit, a Minecraft YouTuber that I used to watch when I was in high school. So yeah, that's basically it. Bye.